Hello, friends. Welcome back to Saturday Evenings Posted Mostly with me, your host, Trevor Stewart 1308, and we are here with the ASOC Prod Cat. And before I do the ad read, we were just talking about how active the local Charlottesville area is recently. I had personally, over the last few days, noticed a good number of police out and around, but I had no idea why. So give us some details there.
All right, so honestly, I should probably start with Wednesday. So Wednesday, out near the old Kmart, they found a deceased person. That's how Wednesday started out.
Okay.
So that was Wednesday. Then you had Wednesday night / Thursday morning, where they had a shooting where it was like old. It wasn't old. That was the other one. That was last night's. They had a shooting that happened. They left where they were. They went down to Four Seasons, crashed their car, and while the police were down there investigating that, a couple blocks away on Inglewood, they had another shooting. That was all Wednesday morning, Wednesday night, Thursday morning at like 2 a.m.
Just so people are aware, Inglewood and Four Seasons are not the bad part of town. It's not like the best part of town, but it used to be pretty good, used to be high end, and it's, you know, pretty middle class these days. So a shooting in that area is rare.
Then you had on Old Preston and Main last night, you had another pair of shootings wherein when they arrived, there was someone that they took to the hospital, and the other person involved got in her car and took her own self to the hospital because she wasn't waiting on them.
Cheese and crackers.
Oh, no. Sorry, that was Thursday night, excuse me. That was Thursday night, Friday morning that happened. Last night, Friday night, you had an out-of-jurisdiction police chase that came into the area and ended out near Elliott Avenue in Monticello, wherein the vehicle involved hit at least two other vehicles in pursuit. And then once the car was disabled, it turned into a foot chase, so you had people throughout that whole neighborhood hunting for whoever was driving that car.
Criminally nutsy. I mean,
there was a
few car accidents around. Like, I saw a car that was slammed into the back of a bus.
Yeah.
What was it? 5th Street Extended. Out by 5th Street, between 5th Street Station and Food Lion. So,
if you go directly across from there, from where you saw that to the 5th and Avon entrance, then we have the truck that was just randomly on fire at the stoplight this morning.
There was a barbecue out there this morning?
A very large one. Like, this was a... It was not actually a dump truck, but it was a dump truck size vehicle. Had its hood pulled up.
I just want to point out
on fire.
That we have moved from a world of dumpster fire to a world of dump truck fire.
So it's
a dump truck fire.
It has been very, very active in this area the last couple of days.
Jiminy Christmas. Tell you what. Oh,
And it's like,
that brought up all of these shootings. Jeez,
yeah,
Trev, all these shootings brought up Lieutenant Governor, former Lieutenant Governor, formerly alive Lieutenant Governor, and I can't come up with his name now.
I can't come up with the name either, but I know that he and his wife were found dead in their home yesterday.
Apparent murder suicide
Yep,
was what I heard from NPR.
that's
Um,
kind of what I had understood too. I was going to put it in the news thing, and then I decided, we don't need to go that much into detail on that.
no, but we should at least talk about it.
Yeah.
But before we get into all of that, let me do today's ad read. Now that we've talked
Please.
about all of the craziness, let me actually do today's ad read and bring a little bit of good news.
Okay.
Eagle-eared viewers may realize that today's ad read is slightly different because today's pre-rolls are brought to you by Sky Mall. Get elevated. Sky Mall is located at 105 West Main Street, Suite 200, above the bricks. On the downtown mall, above the bricks, Suite 200. Sky Mall is the lounge area where I go hang out. The Hidden Leaf has opened their new location at 105. Is it East or West? New ad read, and I've lost my place.
That's why we write things down, and I don't know. I haven't been there.
Yeah, you have. You've gone. 105 West Main Street, Suite 100. Below the Sky Mall on the downtown mall.
Really?
They've opened their retail location.
Aw.
Yup, and it looks amazing. I did a walkthrough. I checked it out the other day when it opened up. I didn't get video or pictures because I wanted to discuss with the owners what would be appropriate.
Yeah, fair.
Although I could have taken a picture of the front of the building just to show people. But, yeah,
This is the teaser trailer. You can provide pictures next week.
well, I'm hoping to also get a bit of a press statement from them.
Nice.
I'm hoping to find some time to talk to Kaz to get him to get a quote.
Yep.
And I know that they have a press statement in the Seaville. The Hook doesn't exist anymore, does it?
Hang on, let me see. It
They
wouldn't.
and they're gonna shoot another commercial soon.
Ooh, cool. We could run the commercial if nothing else.
Oh, we will. We will. In fact, I also, of course, want to mention our other sponsors. Kush Gang Snacks, KG Snacks 434 on Instagram. Purveyor of fine edibles and drinkables and good friend of the channel. Also, Firehouse Organics. That's Firehouse spelled with a Z. Organics. Findable at Firehouse Organics on Instagram. Spelled with a Z. That's Firehouse spelled with a Z, not Instagram spelled with a Z. A quick note of disclaimer. You may hear opinions expressed throughout the show today. The expressors of those opinions are responsible for those opinions. Those are not necessarily, those opinions are not necessarily held by any of our advertisers, including Hidden Leaf, Sky Mall, Kush Gang, and Firehouse Organics, spelled with a Z. Yes, I do believe I got the ad read correct there, eventually.
Okay. Well, I mean,
You know, you see how throwing in a little change just throws the whole thing off for me. I have had the whole thing memorized and then change it up and
that's most of us, honestly.
yeah. So, let's see. We were discussing the murder suicide of just dive right in and say it, Trev. Jeez. Lieutenant Governor. Oh, this is gonna make me insane if I can't come up with this.
Give me a second. I'm pulling that one up.
I feel like we ought to at least say it. Say his name. And probably her name too, because she's the real victim.
Well, yeah. Justin Fairfax.
Justin Fairfax and his wife.
I'm sorry. That is just.
He played
If you're going to be the lieutenant governor, that is. The lieutenant governor of Virginia, that's just a damn dead on name.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
Just.
Cool. Here you go. I'm throwing the article in chat for you.
But, you know, we want a lieutenant governor that's also in Albemarle and in Greene and in Dinwiddie.
Not just for Fairfax
not just
County.
in Fairfax.
So you have
I got
former
there.
Virginia Lieutenant Governor Justin Fairfax and his wife Dr. Serena Fairfax.
Dr. Serena Fairfax.
Yep. So there you go.
Yep. I don't feel the need to click on that one,
Yeah.
but I wanted to make sure we got the names. He was the first black lieutenant governor of the state, which is... I mean, it's great that we had a black lieutenant governor. It's unfortunate that it was him.
Yes, I understand that one.
It's one of those things where it's like, you know, Obama said, white guy with a beard about to quote Obama. Oh, where's this going?
Look, it cannot be any worse than the attack ads that the Republicans have been running for the state of Virginia for the last month.
Okay, yes, we're going to talk about those in a moment, too.
Okay.
But no, Obama pointed out that as the first black president, he was going to have to be perfect. He could not have any, you know, and it speaks to this concept of black exceptionalism. And it's sort of this, like, it's a corrosive idea. It can be a corrosive idea, and I don't want to buy into it. This idea that just to achieve something, a person of color or a black person has to not just be good at what they're achieving, but they also have to be perfect in every way, beyond reproach. And no human being is beyond reproach. You know, we all have flaws. Speak for yourself. I'm perfect.
You do not look like Mary Poppins.
Not till I look in the mirror. Talk about self-delusion. But this is, you know,
I'm sorry, Trev, but Julie Andrews, when she made Mary Poppins, was definitely prettier than you are.
no offense taken. No offense taken. I'm not really that self delusional, believe me. I know this is not pretty. I accept that this is what it is, and I present it for what it is. Especially on stream, on camera, and in public, I am. I would say I'm ugly, and that's okay. And I want other people to see that it's okay just to be yourself. If this is not pretty, that's fine. Don't feel the need to conform to a standard.
Fair.
You know, if you want to make this pretty because that makes you feel good on the inside, that is 100% understandable, and I get it. And I occasionally make this pretty just so that I feel pretty, oh so pretty, and witty, and gay.
Hmm. You do when you wish to do so. You do very well at that.
Thank you. I would like to uh, I would like to take a moment to thank my high school makeup artist, Jen J. We didn't have a big enough high school to we didn't have a big enough high school to have a full makeup department for the theater kids. We only had
Hmm.
one person doing makeup.
Oh,
And at some point she was like, "Trevor, you know how to do makeup. Do your own makeup." I'm like, how do I know how to do makeup, and how do you know that I know how to do makeup? Like, she's like, "You've done makeup before, haven't you?" No. Then why are you doing it right? I don't know.
oh yeah.
Only thing she had to teach me was blending. And that even came pretty quick to me.
See, this is why my intention, if I want to be all dressed up, is to come get you to do my makeup. Because I can't do it, and I end up poking myself in the eyeball too much. So, here are the tools, you do it. I'll at least be able to see when I'm done.
I get iffy about doing makeup on other people's eyes.
Well, that's why I bring you my
'Cause,
tools.
like, my depth perception is sometimes not that great.
I mean,
Sometimes
yes,
I get that
but
little hand twitch. It's like, ooh, not good.
eh.
In any case, I was making a statement about black exceptionalism and the expectations
Yes.
that puts on, the unreasonable expectations that puts on people.
Mm.
And I don't want to play into that with Justin Fairfax. You know, now this is a pretty huge example of what not to do ever,
Yeah.
ever, ever. And I'm pretty sure he wasn't what we'd think of as a great guy.
Mm.
There were some scandals about him cheating. I don't know if there were some other scandals as well. There was some reasons why he wasn't beloved by all. So I'm not going to defend any of that or him. I just wanted to add a note about
Oh,
about
Brad.
those expectations that come with the concept of black exceptionalism. What's that? What's Ocrud?
Reading through the rest of the news article, because I'm trying to remember more about this guy other than he existed, if that
Right?
makes sense. So
That
I
makes
got to the
sense.
point of why he had, well, what his big scandal during office was, which was, you know, a couple of different accusations of SA in 2019,
Yeah.
which unfortunately, under the current administration, would have been seen as like, oh, you're one of us. Please stay longer.
No, it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. Because he's black, he would have been labeled a super predator. And that was part of the problem with those allegations back then. And at
Is
the
that
time, I remember saying, believe the victims, always believe the victims. But again, there's this note of don't forget that there is a societal propensity to see black men as super predators because that's what we were sold by.
yeah?
Yeah.
The Ocrud part was at the very end of the article. It mentions that they were going through a very, very messy divorce, and that the current claim, and the reason police are saying murder suicide, is because there were cameras that were put in the home because of the divorce, and that their kids were home at the time.
Oh, that part's awful.
That's the Ocrud.
Well, dang. That's just awful.
That is. On the good side, while they may have been home at the time, at least they were not physically injured in this.
Yes, that is good.
They've got all of the other mental and emotional injuries, but they're here to work on healing from them versus not.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. With this conversation, we managed to drop from 8 to 4 viewers.
No, we're back up to 6.
Oh, we're back up to 6? Okay. Also, I
Yeah.
never trust that number.
Neither
I
do
don't
I.
trust that number at all. I don't know that it counts everybody or if it counts extra people.
I mean, it probably counts people that drop in for a couple of minutes and then leave, but it doesn't change instantly, so it ticks over.
And that makes sense. Well, all right. The first thing on our list for today, other than all of that stuff,
Yes.
is this thread about fires. This set of fires that have been going on.
Yes.
Locations of the 6 warehouse fires this week that our media outlets are not reporting about collectively. Ontario, California,
Yep.
Kimberly Clark. Bonus, Ontario Mills Fire.
Yep.
West Jefferson, Ohio, the Amazon facility. Bakersfield, California, abandoned warehouse. Newark, New Jersey, chemical warehouse. Wayne County, Ohio, lumber yard. Queens, New York, lumber warehouse. Oops. And these are the different spots, huh?
Yep. And if you go through them, someone did actually someone that was reading the thread added in one that had been missed. And then on top of that, you add in the
It's bonus Molotov cocktail at Sam Altman's house in San Francisco.
yes. Who, not long after that, started making noises of raises for employees.
I bet he did.
Hmm.
Oh, and then the cardboard plant in Richmond, Virginia.
Yep. Is that Richmond, Virginia, or is that Richmond, California?
Washington.
Sorry, Washington. Blah.
Wow.
So yeah,
I saw some squiggly lines and an A, and I went with for Virginia.
Oh, I know. I have a very hard time not doing that myself.
Two things can be true at once. DJT is a pedophile. Eric Swalwell is a predator. They both should be in prison. Simple enough.
Hmm?
So, is this the person they think has been starting the fires?
Well, that's the one that they know for sure started the Kimberly Clark fire because he videoed it.
Okay.
He posted a video of himself lighting toilet paper in the facility on fire, and while saying all they had to do was pay us enough to live.
Okay. Well, dude wanted to make a point. He did.
He did.
And it's a point I agree with, so, I mean, I'm not gonna...
I will note that there were a lot of people going back and forth about how, well, that's not really hurting the company, that's just doing this, that's doing that. You're just, you shouldn't take it out this way because it's not actually going to do anything. And the best response to all of those, what is the word that I want to describe those arguments? Naysaying, mitigating, mealy-mouthed arguments.
That's fair.
Is we started our revolution by throwing all the tea in the harbor because we didn't like it. So to the argument of you shouldn't be destroying goods that people need to live, or goods for this because companies aren't going to listen. The East India Company listened.
And Papa John's heard him.
Yeah.
Papa John had a road to Damascus moment, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And some corporations are hearing and are going, you know what? Yeah, all right. We can do that. For our own survival, we can do that.
Mm-hmm. There is a reason why there were certain industries that suddenly got raises after the CEO incident last year.
Yeah. There really are.
Is it a tactic we should be taking? No. Because we should not be forced into having to take that kind of drastic action to get the point across.
Agreed. I feel like we live in a world that doesn't we live in a world that shouldn't require violence. We should be advanced enough in every way that we don't require violence to continue to exist.
We should be analytical enough of past history to be able to look at what happened during the French Revolution, among other things,
Right.
to mention our own, and say, these are the kind of conditions that were happening. So this is what we strive to not let happen.
Right. This is who we want to not be.
And unfortunately, we are humans. Greed does end up taking control of many things because it is greed.
Agreed. Also, I don't think that... I think that a lot of people don't really realize that we don't need to live in that world anymore.
No,
I think-
because the greedy ones do not wish that to happen.
Right.
Us living in that world and accepting that that's the way it has to be serves them.
Right.
Us waking up and realizing we don't need to do that anymore does not serve them.
Right.
Which is why when someone does something that shows, hey, you don't have that kind of control, we can actually do this because there's one of you and there's a couple billion of us.
Right.
That's when they start getting scared.
Right.
Eventually, we will get our act together.
Eventually. I'm not saying... Not saying I don't have faith in us. I think it's gonna take a couple of generations.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's gonna take, a couple of generations. One, for us to sort of, for the old people who are stuck in their ways to die out. I think, and then it's gonna take a few generations, like a generation or two, for their influence to really mellow.
I mean, look at the. I'm sure you've run across or seen the one Gen Z girl that went viral for being upset over her work-life balance not being okay. The one that was crying about working all day for 8 hours and the commute time and how she had no time left afterwards to do anything other than eat and go to sleep. And the responses to that were really telling of how far we have come. Because you had a lot of the older generations going, yeah, because that's what you do, suck it up. And then you had the ones more closer to her generation and the younger generations after hers going, no, that's not okay. We're supposed to be working to live, not
living to work.
Exactly.
And it is there are a couple of disconnects going on there. One, that was never okay.
No.
Even when they did it, that wasn't okay. Two, when they did it, it had rewards. When they did it, when older generations put in the hard work, they got the reward at the end of it. Or at least they could see some sort of reward at the end of it. It was, and it's not everyone. That doesn't hold true to everyone across the board. you know, the poorer and more marginalized communities, that was not true for ever.
Yes.
But the middle class
It was
could
bad.
work a 40-hour week and afford a home. You know, and if they
Back
worked
when the middle class was actually a middle class.
right, afford a home, and at the end of the mortgage, own the home and be
Mm-hmm.
relatively debt free. They could go into debt and get nice things.
Mm-hmm.
There was this, like, at the very base level, or they could put in extra work and get nice things.
Yep.
But at the very basic level, you were guaranteed, if you did the 40-hour work week and did all the work, you were, or at least told you were guaranteed to be able to afford a home and a car and a family
On a single income.
on a single income.
That's the big kicker, is that back when
And
it was actual middle class,
right, and
you
that
had a single
started
income.
to split
Mm-hmm.
in the 70s, and
Yep.
that divide got wider in the 80s and the 90s, and it's become a point where you can't afford you can't afford a home, a car, and a family on two 40-hour a week incomes.
Exactly.
You still, both parents still need side hustles.
It's gone from a very wide, deep, whatever, however you want to say it, middle class, to a very narrow group of people that would actually count as that, and everybody under them are either working poor or actual poverty and below poverty level.
Right.
When you are in a situation where doctors, actual doctors who make actual money, that would have been seen as upper class back even in the 90s,
Are now having a hard time staying middle class.
can't get home loans because of their student debt.
Right.
So you've got doctors that are supposedly making 70, 80, 100,000 a year, but because of their student debt alone, they're not able to go buy a home. They have to keep renting.
Right. And thing is, student debt has gone up exponentially over the years. Tuition costs have just kept going up. I don't think that's on the schools. I think that's on the government lending programs. The Fannie Maes of the world. Because they are not for profit. They're for profit corporations that have government contracts to lend money for college tuition.
Yeah.
I see how this is set up for abuse. It's just like,
Yeah.
so
Right.
that's
So
rather
just with
depressing.
our own UVA for med school, back in 2020, the in-state tuition in 2020 was just shy, like $20 shy of 47,000 a year. So you're paying 47,000 for the year of 2020 to go to school, and you know you're going to be there 4 to 8 years, depending on whatever your medical thing is. This year, the tuition is 55,000 for in-state tuition.
I'm trying to put those numbers sort of into some perspective for me, because.
3, 5.
But no, okay.
6, 7.
Okay, I've got it. I've got my perspective there. That's
You could buy my mother's house outright every year, once every year, for the cost of a year's schooling. Roughly,
right.
is the way I look at it.
Let's see. That's 55.
Yep.
Let's say 60. Let's average out 4 years at 60 a year right now, because we don't know what it's going to be for the next 2 years. So we'll go with the
I don't
last
know,
2
but
years.
the trend is.
And,
Let's see.
but
Yeah.
I think about 60,000 a year, right? 4 years, 4 times 60,000 is 120 plus 120.
240.
240,000, just under $250,000.
And that's just for the tuition, so you might as well make it $250,000 with the housing, with the expenses for supplies, with the books, just to do the schooling.
Right. So someone who is in school right now can expect to pay $250,000 or more across the next 4 years. And that $250,000 will be spread out across the rest of their life with interest rates that I think are, well, I don't know. I don't know what the interest rates on those loans are like. I know that because they take so long to pay off, the interest rates are pretty insane, and you end up paying off the interest rates. So that, let's take that $250,000 at today's interest rates, which are actually pretty high, aren't they? What is today's interest rate?
Right, so if you're doing a federal student loan, your interest rate is roughly 6.4%.
6.4%. $250,000.
Federal student loan. If you're doing a private student loan, I would go with the higher amount of 18%. But yeah.
Now, if you took $250,000 and invested it at 6 to 18%, you could live off the interest. First few years you might want to live pretty Spartan and put most of the interest back in and reinvest it so that the principal grows, because it's at that point it's going to grow pretty substantially pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Right. So yeah, you're 6% going with the federal one, because maybe you're lucky enough to have gotten one of those loans. You're looking at 16,000 a year in interest alone.
16,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. Versus the more predatory, quote unquote, loan of a personal loan where it's pretty much 18%. You're looking at 45,000 a year in interest alone. So you're paying as much in interest every year that loan is out there
that you would be paying last year for tuition.
And
how fast does that rack up to $1 million?
Pretty damn quick. If 60,000 ish is with change is your $250,000, within inside of a couple of years, well, inside of like 6 years with your principal and all your interest, it's going to rack up pretty close. Because you're a student, you're paying it off slowly. So if you're only making whatever the minimum payment is, because most people do that.
Let's remember that your student loan doesn't kick in until, like, payments on it don't kick in until after you graduate or fail out.
Huh? All right, so if you take anywhere close to 16 years to pay that off, then that's pretty close to $1 million.
Right.
Between the principal and the interest, you'll have paid $1 million for your education.
Right.
And that
was worth or valued at $250,000 when you got it. However, your value has not inflated.
Not the same way, no.
No, just the value of your debt.
And that's with a particularly high return type of education.
Right.
No. I watch a lot of lawyer stuff on LawTube, and lawyers take quite a while to get through school, so they are also supposedly a high return, but unless you are willing to be an unethical lawyer, most of them are not making hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. They're making maybe 70, which puts them as just barely middle class, if that.
Right. because pay has not gone up at the same rate as everything else. So, that's the... Yeah. That's the state of debt in the world.
Yes.
I'm not saying don't get a college education.
There are reasons for it. There are good reasons for it.
There
but
are. What I am saying is be judicious about how you get that college education.
And I will note that part of the reason that the student debt portion has gotten so out of control is how heavily back in the late 80s, early 90s, they were pushing that everybody had to go to college.
Right.
And then, as part of that push, businesses that did not used to require a degree started requiring degrees. And it got more and more insane, where they started wanting someone that had been doing this particular type of job for 5 years, but also had a college degree. And so you started getting a backlog of college graduates that could apply for the job now because they had the degree. But because they were, 20-somethings, they did not have the required experience, so they were not getting hired.
And this is when internships became a thing. Unpaid internships.
Which should be very, very illegal.
Very, very illegal. One of the things that I have run into in my lifetime that not staying in college, one of the impediments that not staying in college has caused me over my lifetime is not having a network of people. A network of people in industries that I might be involved in that I could contact.
Yeah.
If I'd have stayed in college specifically for music or for entertainment or journalism or whatever I'm doing now,
Yeah.
If I'd have stayed there for that, I would have developed a network of contacts that I would be able to access, that would be able to have made this bigger.
Very much potentially.
I would have probably picked up critical skills that I just don't have, which is why it's like watching an idiot try to rub two thoughts together. Oh no, wait, it's not like that, it is that. That's why you guys watch me struggle with certain things so much, and probably why a lot of my analysis, my political and social analysis, is not quite right.
All right. Now, the political and social analysis, I won't go so far to say it's not quite right. I will say you're coming at it from a different viewpoint than a lot of other people, and that's probably a really good thing.
Well, okay. My political and social prognostication, because I do think I get my predictions wrong.
Yes, but it's a prediction thing, and everybody gets them wrong.
Yeah, who's getting their predictions right these days?
Whoever it is, they're keeping their mouth shut and buying their lottery tickets through a proxy.
Not lottery tickets. They're betting on Kalshi.
Like I said, they're
They're
buying their
getting their
lottery
lottery
tickets through a
ticket through a
proxy.
proxy. Yeah. If that's what you want to call it. That's a very delicate way of saying that.
Yeah. But, you know,
That but yeah, that's I mean that sort of community of contacts thing is one of the things I don't have access to.
and
I
it's
mean,
it's
I
one of those.
know there are groups of musicians in Charlottesville that would have and producers and that I could have made those relationships with.
Mm-hmm.
However, my relationship with Charlottesville being as antagonistic as it is made that very difficult.
Yeah. Because
Granted,
unfortunately,
part of my antagonistic feeling towards Charlottesville is because that was very difficult. Those relationships were never like there were a few people who taught me a few things, but a lot of people were figure it out on your own.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And it was very much like if I could, I wouldn't be asking you. I would not be here asking for help if I could go it alone. Which is why why this project, this whatever, why Nickwork Entertainment and Nestor Industries are such a one-person Mickey Mouse setup.
mm-hmm.
Because I really was just going it alone for a long time with a bit of help here and a bit of help there, but without the sort of the larger network of contacts.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why when I
Go.
found somebody willing to be the associate producer,
I don't recall being willing to be the associate producer. I recall being willing to find funny stories and send them to you, and then occasionally write a little quip about the funny story. That's what I recall actively agreeing to.
your
The rest of
role
this was
has
passively.
evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is it isn't something I can do on my own.
Mm-mm.
Like, I can't keep this up on my own. Even the DJing, I can't really do that alone either. I wouldn't be anywhere without the online community of DJs that are around me. You know, Chris in a 386, Lockpick, JB 1200, Master Rasta 420, Jadzia Dex, you know, and also not a DJ, but without just me, Crystal, you
Oh yeah.
know, I wouldn't, you know, this is nothing in my life is a one person show. And I think people out there who are I don't have anybody specific in mind. I'm making up a straw man. But people who say they're doing it on their own, who don't give props to the support structure around them, are doing a doing a disservice to their support structure, and are being insincere about how they're getting there. There are a few people who are doing it all themselves. I'm, who are just shooting and editing and writing and researching and all of these things all themselves.
But there may be other people in the background that are doing things at home that are the support structure.
Yeah,
Because it takes a lot of time.
it does. It does. I mean, nobody exists without some kind of support structure. That, you know. But also, I know that there are people who are out there doing a lot of this sort of stuff on their own, on their own, and they're doing a pretty good job.
Sure.
So I don't want to be like I'm calling them out for not, you know.
It,
There are a
but
few people that pop
frequently,
into mind as I say all of this that are, going it
yeah.
alone, but they're doing well.
But there's frequently someone that is inside a group of, or they're part of a community that are sitting there saying, "I did it all by myself,"
Right.
and the rest of the community is sitting there going, "Yes, yes, you did, and absolutely did not mention anything like this to you at all in the past to help you out."
Right. I haven't been coming to your streams every day for, it's like that's another thing. It's like not just the community of other streamers that I've built around me, but the people who
Community of
just
watchers,
right
viewers, excuse me,
viewers,
viewers, not watchers.
watchers. I like watchers better. Lurky watchers, watchy
Yes,
lurkers.
watchy lurkers, because you've got regular people that sit
Right.
there lurking, and without them you wouldn't have your view count, and sitting there saying,
Right.
"I did it all by myself." Oh, so you watched yourself
Oh, you
all
bought all
that
the
time.
bots that are on your to watch. Okay, that's how you did it yourself. And I'm not gonna say that buying bot views is bad. I haven't done it yet. I okay, so here's the thing. I want to buy one bot viewer for the DJ channel
Okay.
so that I can dress up in drag and claim that I am. I don't want to say that though, because that first part.
What you do is you
I
get your bot viewer, and then you bring Nick out
well,
into the frame when you're doing that, and the
yeah,
bot
very
viewer can
funny,
be Nick's voice when you're doing things.
very funny. But no, 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 no. I know that some of the music I DJ is made by AI,
Right.
so I want to DJ AI music to Twitch bots.
Oh, heavens. All right. Sidetrack because of what you just said.
I mean, I'm
Did you
just
ever
saying.
read? Did you ever read any of the brain ship stories?
No,
All right. Are you familiar with them in any way?
I have no idea who wrote them. You're gonna
Anne
have
McCaffrey.
okay, okay. Brain
That gives you a
Ship
time period.
Anne McCaffrey. No, I did not read a lot of Anne McCaffrey.
So her
I found her writing and Piers Anthony's writing. I found her writing to be dry, and his writing to be avant-garde.
Hmm.
And so I didn't read a
Um,
lot of either of them.
that's fair. The premise behind this particular series is that humans have gone out in space. Humans have figured out how to do various things, and they have these things that are called brain ships.
Okay.
Essentially, you have a human that, for whatever reason, they've got some sort of debilitating illness that means that normally they would not have very much quality of life. They would pretty much be stuck in a hospital bed forever.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely
If
remember.
if they
And
are
they get
found at a
turned
young
into
enough
the
age,
ship, basically.
they basically they're installed in basically a life care pod and stuck in the ship. But this is only open to children under a certain age, so they've got a chance to learn how to work with their new body as a
Right.
ship. So one of so you've got a whole fleet of basically humans in battle armor doing things.
Okay.
But because they have all of the neural connections to the ship, they can do things way faster. They can see and hear in tones that humans can't. So one of the books is called "The Ship Who Sang," and she makes music exclusively for other brain ships. Thus, the
Okay.
AI making music, or playing AI music for bots.
What I want to call it is, what I want to say is, I'm just a plastic girl playing or DJing AI music for Twitch bots.
I mean, you can have fun doing that, yes. And
Um,
if you buy one solitary Twitch bot, then that counts. Personally, I would buy two Twitch bots. That way, you can get away with saying the plural.
Twitch bots.
Yes, there are two of them. I know there are two of them because I put them there.
Yeah. I do wonder if like Nightbot and Siri bot count.
I don't think so because that's less one of your viewers and more one of your moderators.
Right. I want the bot to be just a viewer, just a
Yes. But no, I think that's kind of cute playing AI music for Twitch bots.
you know? I just so yeah, that being said, as long as people are upfront about their Twitch bot usage, their viewer bot usage,
Hmm.
I'm not gonna come at them about it. You
No.
know, it's when somebody starts being like, "Oh no, I didn't do that."
Yeah. As
Dude,
with most things,
dude,
if you are upfront about what you're doing, it'll be okay. It's
cover
when
up
you
is worse than
lie
the
about it.
scandal. Cover up is always worse than the scandal. No, not
Yes.
always. Not always.
No, but yes.
There's sometimes when somebody's come out and said, I've done something, I did that. And you're like, ooh, you should have covered that up.
Yeah.
Ooh, you should have, no, you should have kept that quiet. But
Which,
yeah,
again, there's a difference. All right, legally speaking, at least, there is a difference between not bringing up the topic and then totally lying when the topic is brought up to you.
right. To wit, let us discuss Melania Trump's speech. Did we touch on it last week?
We talked about it vaguely about how Trump had managed to successfully use the war to distract from Epstein right up until she decided to make a surprise speech and brought everybody's attention right back to what he'd been distracting from.
The distraction from the distraction from the distraction from the distraction from the distraction.
it makes me think of the helmet, the helmet skit. Here's my helmet. Here's my helmet for my helmet.
Here's my helmet for my helmet for my right. It really, yeah. No, Josh Johnson used a distraction from distraction from distraction joke
Yep.
this week, and I was pretty happy about that. Yes.
He's been doing really nicely on the late night show.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I don't watch. I don't watch that so much.
I catch bits and pieces when I'm scrolling because I have to be at work sometimes when that show is on, so I can't get to see it.
Yeah.
And if I don't have to be at work, then I am trying to sleep before I go to work after the show goes off the air for the night.
I get that. So yeah, if we talked about it last week, we don't really have to rehash it. It's still the same, like.
Oh yeah, except for let's see, she did that.
We're waiting for the other shoe to drop to find out that actually no, she was trafficked by Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, let's see, the fun part of that is after she said that, you had Pam Bondi was supposed to be in front of Congress, and she refused to show up this week.
Oh, she did. She did refuse to show up this week.
You had Trump do all of his different tirades up to and including saying, well, I guess they're victims or whatever, but they're refusing to testify under oath. To which the general consensus among the victims are like, we didn't say that. We said we wanted you to testify under oath. That's not the same thing as us refusing. You had all of the AI picture scandal that he did.
Oh yes. President versus the Pope was this week.
President versus the Pope was this week. So you.
Oh my God!
You had the threats last week, and then this week it has continued on with the President versus the Pope, to the point where there are a lot of young Catholic Republicans that are looking at this and questioning him.
Yep.
And the articles of impeachment / the 25th Amendment for what is the word I want? For mental evaluation of the president is gaining traction with a lot of the Republicans.
Okay. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I've been off my game this week.
Meanwhile, there have been several different yellow building block videos released
from Iran.
Well, you've got some from Iran. You've got one that has been released from Britain.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then you've got other creators that are like, you know what? Iran had a really good idea. We're going to do this.
Yeah. And I mean, the propaganda was catchy. I'm not wild about the regime that Iran has in place. I'm even less wild about the war that we were in to change that. That didn't change that. I mean,
exactly.
And now we're blockading the blockade. But there is a tenuous ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon holding.
Honestly, I think it's a case of we're watching the insane person over here doing things, so we need to stop our fight for the moment so we can deal with him, and then we can go back to fighting later.
Oh no, I think that is a function of Iran going, hey, we don't want the bombing raids to start on us again. We want Trump to think that it's a ceasefire. Even if we're not having ceasefire negotiations and nothing in the strait changes, we want him to feel like there is a ceasefire going on. And Trump is leaning on Israel, going, hey, knock it off. It looks like I don't have control over you. To which Netanyahu is going, give it time. There'll be a new president in a few years. I'll be able to get back to this genocide that I'm working on.
Like I said, we need to stop what we're doing for the moment, deal with the orange lunatic, and then we'll go back to our war. Let's see, then we've got Kash Patel. It's being reported that he is so well known to overindulge in the evening that his security detail requested breaching gear so they could wake him up. Because he was going out to various clubs, coming home and passing out behind locked doors, and his security detail could not get to him. Becoming so heavily
that
inebriated.
Crash sucks, doesn't it, man?
Yeah.
Dude, just do what all the other tech bros do.
Well,
just keep doing the code. Oh wait,
I mean, he could.
You could.
He's the FBI.
But like,
he's the FBI person, so I guess he can't because CIA has all of that.
You blew up your stash in Venezuela.
Yep.
No, seriously, dude. You shouldn't have been attacking the coke growers if you were gonna keep doing coke. Like, the math don't math.
Then we've got reports of we've had 11 scientists who knew various bits of classified information that have turned up unalive. In, they're these being relatively young scientists turning up deceased in a short-ish amount of time.
What were they studying?
They do not, at the moment, it doesn't appear that they were all part of the same study group exactly.
Or in the same field?
Not in the same field either, but they all had access to various different bits of classified information.
Okay. Gosh, when you put it all together... When you put it all together, oh my god, they were building a giant hypnotic death ray.
Yeah.
Seriously, dude, killing off your scientists sounds super villainy. I mean, like, master level super villain, like, and you better hope they got done building what they were building.
You'd better hope that they did not have
insurance policies, as they say.
Yeah.
Fail safes involved.
at least not harmful fail-safes for the rest of us. I know that they were all in various kind of advanced research type fields. But given some of the noises that have been made about AI and quantum computing and stuff like that, I could see someone coming up with something and being, too much trouble to keep around. Especially given that
Oh, the new Anthropic Glasswing coming out.
I thought it was still
Dude.
Claude Mythos. The one that
It
escaped,
is.
which they want for hacking.
No, it didn't escape. It was told to escape. It was told to go from one secure place to another secure place.
True, but then it left the secure places and it called one of the developers directly,
It was also
which it
told
was
to
not
do
supposed to
that.
do.
No, it was. It was told to.
Oh,
Yeah, there was nothing. It also the security flaw that it found was part of why the security flaw thing that it found was so well hidden was because it wasn't exploitable. It's part of why it had been around forever and wasn't found is because no one could use it. So no one did use it. So it was like, yeah, this product, while it's being advertised as too dangerous to release to the public, has not actually done anything impressive. It is I don't know what level of hallucinations it gets, what level of false positives you're getting, but I know
yeah.
it hasn't done anything it hasn't been asked to do. It has not it hasn't broken its programming, it hasn't broke out of confinement, it hasn't contacted somebody without being told to, it's just followed its prompts. And now, given some of the stories of what we've heard AIs doing when following prompts, the kind of hallucinations that you end up with when just following prompts, like the AI that stocked the stack machines with, I can't even remember what crazy stuff.
Everything.
Right.
It stocked with everything.
And like sold stuff, for absolute
$1.
Right. Like it is, that was still following the prompts of the people working at the newspaper, who were, of course, trying to break the AI.
That was less it escaped and went rogue, and more the people that set it up did not think clearly enough about where they were sending it
And what these
and put the
people would do
proper
to it.
safeguards in place.
Right. Whereas Anthropic Mythos Glasswing Monarch Mobile is doing what it's supposed to do. I should have gone for Blue Morpho. Dang it. It's doing what it's supposed to do. And I'd argue it sounds like it's doing what it's supposed to do well. We don't have reports of it having these massive hallucinations. Now, it hasn't done anything impressive that a human couldn't do given time. I do believe a human could have gotten through the 2 levels of containment to get to the other, get out of their box and into the other box.
True. Mostly, though, they wouldn't have done it as fast.
Near as fast, I think. Even remotely near as fast. And this machine can find it can find both non-exploitable and exploitable weaknesses in security systems. It may do an amazing job of tightening up security. It's not...
Which doesn't mean I want the government to have it anyway.
Right. It's not AGI. It's not thinking for itself. It's... and it could still be incredibly dangerous, too, because... while it could tighten up our security or my security, it could easily penetrate somebody else's security.
Yes.
So apparently, any tool for safety can be a tool for
the locked door that keeps the robbers out also keeps you in.
Right. That's fair.
Did you hear about the DoorDash stunt?
No.
Trump supposedly DoorDashed McDonald's in. And then proceeded to give... Now, he DoorDashed in McDonald's while holding or about to hold a teeny tiny press conference. So he had the opportunity to talk to this supposed DoorDash grandma about his policies and get her to either agree or disagree with them on camera. Problem is it also appears that she's the same woman that has turned up in other political ads for him or for other Republicans. So there was a lot of pushback on that, and people saying we don't think this was an actual moment that the president had. This was more a case of
stunt.
Paid actor.
Mm-hmm. Paid actor. Adorable.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Oh, it's been a busy week in many respects.
It has. I have been, as I said, off my game. I've been off my game the last couple of weeks. This is, so, but let's go ahead and move along to the articles so we can get done here. Because, really, we've been going for, an hour and a half, and we haven't even started talking about the cocaine hippos. And we had a perfect segue. We could have gone from Kash Patel to the cocaine hippos.
No, we couldn't. Kash Patel is FBI director, not CIA director. We can't go from FBI to cocaine. That doesn't work.
No, but you can go Kash Patel to cocaine. Because...
maybe. I mean, currently he's in the news for drinking, but yeah, very possibly.
Drinking.
Look.
What, were you drinking Guinness? Is that why you've got a white mustache?
Yeah, basically. Like I said, security detail has now got a battering ram so they can open his door to wake him up in the morning to go to work.
I don't usually feel comfortable calling people out on their drug problems, because, it seems kind of cruel. But when your drug problem is my problem, and by my, I mean the nation's, I think I need to say something.
There is a difference between somebody that does their own thing doing their own thing and someone that is in charge
Of everything. I mean, not everything, but everything. And,
that
okay, see, here's the thing. Like,
that is in charge of national security matters, has a whole bunch of, or is supposed to have a whole bunch of classified information in his head, going out and getting wasted every night to the point where it is a well known secret within your organization that you don't expect the boss before whatever time because he's going to have a hangover until then.
and
If he
let
actually
me
sobers up enough
tell
to have a
you
hangover.
how much of a truth serum cocaine and white wine are together.
Don't have to, because which philosopher said that back before we actually started using numbers to date the years? There's truth in wine.
I mean, yeah, there's that. But I'm telling you, dude, specifically, cocaine and white wine. Getting white chick wasted. You are gonna say everything to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like he would be a white wine drinker. He has that.
Well,
And I mean, this is
what is
personal
morphine
experience,
made
folks. Personal experience here. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
from?
White
What
wine and
plant?
cocaine has led me to be way too honest a few times.
Uh, what plant is morphine made from?
Poppy.
All right, so yeah, that makes sense. Medical person that I know, they kind of paraphrased, there's truth in wine, and they're like, yep, there's truth in wine and morphine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Although I found it easier to just shut up on morphine. When I was on the opiates, it was easier just to keep my mouth shut. Coke, yayo, gets that mouth going. You just want to talk. You want to talk about everything. And white wine is the one that just kind of loosens up that honesty center.
Oh, I mean,
So that's...
if you're gonna have a party house that's also a spy house, it would make sense to stock it like that, I suppose.
I'm saying he looks like he's been doing white girl wasted since college. He looks like the only reason he learned to drink whiskey is so that the dudes didn't look at him funny.
Yeah, that could very well be.
And when he drinks whiskey, I bet he drinks bourbon.
Because it's tough looking.
Also, bourbon is sweeter than the other whiskeys.
There.
So yeah, he's I'm just saying
We got started on the cocaine hippos and we went back to Cash Patel.
Speaking of cocaine, Speaking of cocaine hippos,
Oh
oh my
Lord.
god.
I didn't know such a thing existed.
I was aware. We've covered it before. We
No,
have
no,
briefly
I wasn't
discussed
think I was
the.
thinking
Oh,
I didn't realize that there were hippos where these hippos are.
okay. In Colombia,
Yeah,
he imported them.
right, but to me he imported like two or three, so I thought there were like two or three and at this point, that's
No, we
it.
covered
No.
this. We covered this. We covered the expansion of the coke hippo.
I do not remember that for whatever
It was a
reason.
lot, and we didn't stay on it. We just talked like, oh, their population expanded.
Yep,
Uh-oh.
well,
And they're all coke addicted? Oh no. Coke hippos. Right next to the coke shark and the meth squirrel.
and the bear. Don't forget the bear.
Oh, and Coke Bear. How can I forget Coke Bear? There was a whole movie about Coke Bear.
It was
But
actually a good movie.
I still like the meth squirrel.
Yes.
These
Yes.
nuts. These nuts. Have you seen these nuts?
You about to?
Dude named his meth addicted squirrel pet D's Nuts. And it got loose. And he went
Yep.
looking for it.
Yep. Oh my.
And
So
that didn't
yeah.
even happen in Florida.
No, that was Kentucky. I think it was Kentucky.
It was Florida. It was relatively Florida adjacent. I mean, there are a few states between Kentucky and Florida. By a few, I mean it's a handful. But it's still Florida adjacent. I've
We
lived
had an
in
alligator
Kentucky and
loose in Virginia running up and down the strip mall next to the hotel where it escaped from the truck. So
I
at
think
that
we're
point,
Florida
Florida,
adjacent at this
yeah,
point. I mean, yeah, there are a bunch of states in between us and Florida, but no, we're kind of Florida adjacent.
we're
And
look,
so are each
we are
one
we
of
are on
those
this
states
continent,
that are
so
between
everything.
us.
We
All
are on
those
this
poor
continent.
states.
The one that should feel bad is Canada, because Canada is stuck on this continent with us as well, which means they are also Florida adjacent.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Canada counts as Florida adjacent. I
It
think
does
they're
because they
too
have
nice of
Alaska, so
people, eh?
they have Alaska to deal with, so they are also Florida adjacent.
Alaska, the Florida of Canada.
I mean, like I said, everybody that is on this continent is unfortunately Florida adjacent just because they cannot break off and go have their own island elsewhere at this point.
So you're just saying Florida's an infection.
Well, what does it look like on the map?
Oh, so you're saying it's an STI. It's not
mean,
just an infection, it's an STI. Give the US penicillin, they've caught Florida.
it won't work at
Oh,
this
you should
point.
check around their backside. They've also got Texas.
See? And this is how we deal with cocaine hippos and their culling of the over expanding population.
This is we all, all we did was bring up the headline and vaguely discuss it for a moment, and we ended up landing on the STIs Florida and Tex ass.
Unfortunately, the peanut gallery is not here today.
So we
I
have
think
to get
that
this in somehow.
I think that if he was here, we probably would have been kept on track because if you've noticed, it's either you and him running off down some rabbit hole and I'm dragging you back, or you and I are off down a rabbit hole and
And
he's dragging
us back. And that's sort of why I have two of you. Because this is what happens when I don't.
I mean, realistically, I should be doing the associate producer thing and dragging us back, but I'm also kind of half tired. Well, not half. I'm really tired. So I don't have the energy to play to play sheepdog and herd us back on track. Not like I should be. I have made my token effort.
Right?
That's all it is.
It's a token effort. Well, okay, so yes. Colombia to euthanize dozens of cocaine hippos linked to drug lord Pablo Escobar in bid to control population. Backstory on that is Pablo Escobar brought hippos in because he had all the cocaine money.
Yep.
He didn't just have coke money, he had all the coke money. And when you have that much money and that much cocaine, you do kind of crazy things.
Yep.
Wait, hippos? Why the fuck not?
I want hippos.
But yeah,
I mean, he probably heard I want a hippopotamus for Christmas too many times and decided, you know what? I have money. I'm getting me a hippo for Christmas.
Right. And he give the hippo some cocaine. Why not? I've got hippos, I've got cocaine. Let's see what happens. I mean, when you've got that much power, that little accountability.
Oh, yeah.
That much money. And that much cocaine. You don't need white wine.
No.
I mean, yeah, you kind of do, because it'll mellow out the coke high some. But there's no reason to think that he didn't do some crazy stuff, and giving hippos cocaine was probably the least insane thing he did. You know, other than running a successful drug empire. You can't really be that crazy and do that. Like, you have to be with it to some degree. I argue, though, you also have to be a certain level of crazy to do that. So, it's just a different kind of crazy, I guess.
Yeah. Oh.
How do you kill a coke hippo?
I mean, by this point, most of them should be clean, rehabbed, whatever. Because it's not like he's there feeding them handfuls of drugs anymore.
Right. No,
so most of them should be. Because their population
okay.
is...
I don't want to think too deeply about this. We've already gone in deep enough on another part of this that I don't want to think too deeply about this. But I have to imagine killing a hippo is hard. It is not just as easy as taking aim and shooting. Like, it'd have to be a pretty big gun to do that.
I mean, they've got that made. They've got the one that they made for elephants. If it works on an elephant, it's gonna work on a hippo.
Hey, maybe. Maybe, man. Hippos are a different breed. I mean, literally, they're not elephants. But also...
True. Hopefully they have figured out what they're going to do before they start this so that A, things are done cleanly.
Yeah.
But also B, so the people that are doing this aren't injured in the process.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because if they go about it wrong, all I can think about is that scene at the end of Lake Placid. With the crocodile in the chopper, trapped in the chopper.
Oh, that sounds awful. That sounds terrifying. Why are there so many... Why are there so many mother effing crocodiles on this mother effing helicopter? Dude, one crocodile is one too many mother effing crocodiles to be in a mother effing helicopter.
I mean, yes. So it was kind of stuck its nose through the door and was kind of trapped by it. But, you know.
That's fair.
I love Lake Placid. And I really, really love Betty White's appearance where she asks if it's wrong to wish for the chewing of law enforcement. I love her for that.
That is a good one.
Or is it illegal? Is it illegal to wish for the chewing of law enforcement?
That's funny. I actually need to take a couple of moments break. I will be right back, folks. And we will finish up when I get back. Please stick around with me as I take this break.
I'm gonna go get tea while you're taking your break.
Sounds good. All right, friends, we're back. Thank you for bearing with us there. Or at least I'm back. I believe Kat will be back in just a moment. I'm going to take this opportunity to skip ahead to this next article. County prosecutor charges ICE agent with assault for pointing gun at people on Minneapolis highway. A federal immigration agent accused of pointing his gun at occupants of a car after pulling alongside them on a Minneapolis area highway is wanted on felony assault charges, Minnesota prosecutors said Thursday. Why do they just... Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty Is that Mary Moriarty? She doesn't have red hair.
What? I'm back now. What about Moriarty with red hair?
Well, Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty.
Ah.
It's a reference to Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Moriarty led the League of Red-Headed Gentlemen.
Ah. That's where you were going with that. Okay.
Where I went with it. It's the kind of thing you drop and walk away from and see if anybody else notices. That doesn't
I noticed
sound good.
as far as going... you're not necessarily supposed to be littering with red herrings all over the place, but at least they're, compostable.
Moriarty and the League of Red Herrings. That's basically what they were, too. That's what the League of Red-Headed Gentlemen were. They were red herrings so that Moriarty could do his thing.
Mm-hmm. Like I said.
Anyway, Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said it is the first criminal case against a federal officer involved in the Minnesota immigration crackdown, which was part of a surge of forces into the cities, including Los Angeles, Chicago, and New Orleans. There is no such thing as absolute immunity for federal agents who violate the law in the state of Minnesota, Moriarty told a news conference, saying the agent acted outside the scope of federal officers' authorities. So the long and short of this is they're charging this dude. There's a warrant out for him. Have they got him?
Let's see.
What's the name of the guy who did it? I skipped over that. George Donald Morgan Jr. is charged with 2 counts of second-degree assault.
Gregory, not George.
Huh?
Gregory, not George.
Cheesy crackers, Trev.
Hey, if we're going to be naming and shaming ICE agents, I want to do the right one.
Right? Hey, I'll name and shame all of them.
Exactly.
George and Gregory.
Well, just in case George isn't actually an ICE agent. So.
Right, that's the thing. Gregory Donald Morgan Jr. I am really dyslexic, man.
It doesn't help that he's got like 3 different first names or 3 different last names.
Oh my god, and a junior.
Exactly. Like,
And
I know people that have had all of those names as their first name, and I know people that have had all of those names as a last name. So it's just a person with 3 names and a junior.
at least I'm just 2 first names and a last name. I mean, other than the middle name.
Fair.
You know, Trevor and Stuart can both be first names, but you don't really get Trevor as a last name.
I mean, yes, but no, because you've got Noah Trevor.
Trevor Noah.
Oh,
That's his first name is Trevor,
fair.
not his second name. Noah is one of those like first names that, you know, usually a first name, but in his case it's also a last name. So his name is Gregory Donald Morgan Jr. 2 counts of second-degree assault. Minnesota authorities say Morgan, 35, was driving back to immigration offices at the end of his shift when the incident occurred February 5th. The car's driver told investigators they feared it was a crazy person driving down the road aiming guns at people, according to the warrant.
Because it was!
Yep. Morgan faces up to 7 years. Active nationwide warrant for his arrest.
So I guess they do not actively have him yet.
No arrangements have been made for Morgan to surrender. He faces up to 7 years in prison for each assault charge. All right. So that sounds like
Hey, it's small, but that is a start. May more warrants be forthcoming for other ICE agents.
yes. All right. Next one up. Yeah, Ticketmaster was found to be a monopoly.
Yep.
And oddly enough, they're still paying like nothing in taxes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and Live Nation is in there, so it's both. It's Ticketmaster
Yep.
and Live Nation.
Because Live Nation is the one that has got the stranglehold on the arenas and the venues. And they're the ones that are forcing people to use Ticketmaster to buy or resell tickets.
Yeah. So they're in it too.
Yep. And there are several comedians and musical artists that have been deliberately and specifically going to venues that are not controlled by Live Nation so they can sell tickets at a reasonable price. And
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, Josh Johnson is one of them.
That tracks.
Yeah.
And he definitely, yeah, that tracks. I think that's
And
part
one
of
of
why
the
he does the theater tour that he does. Like, why he oftentimes is playing in smaller theaters.
because it's not connected to Live Nation or Ticketmaster.
Same with comedy
Um,
clubs. I think
mhm.
there are a lot of comedy clubs that are not connected there. So that is so are they talking about breaking them up like they did with the with Ma Bell and the phone companies?
Yeah, they're talking about Live Nation possibly losing arenas. They're talking, at the very least, about places losing, Ticketmaster losing the stranglehold.
Okay.
That other ticket sites where they can sell tickets themselves without Ticketmaster. Live Nation has effectively said this isn't over. So I imagine the appeals will be happening.
I'm sure, but like that's only gonna do but like so much.
And as one of the law tubers that I listened to mentioned, the fact that this was announced right close to the start of Coachella is rather
Oh.
beautiful,
Yeah.
because that was started when Pearl Jam said, "No, we're not dealing with you anymore," and went to a venue that wasn't supported by Live Nation or Ticketmaster.
That is I mean, that's also a pretty classic Pearl Jam move.
Mm-hmm.
They've been fighting with Ticketmaster for forever.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Who was the other one that was fighting with them? We just talked about them the other day.
Taylor Swift.
No, yeah, no, that's what kind of what started this, and I'm not sure if this is the same. Um, I'm not sure if this is the same trial or not. I have to go look through stuff and see. No, who is the other? I want to say there was another rock band that's been fighting with Ticketmaster. It'll come to me later. That requires brain power I do not have right now.
Understandable. Understandable. Um
But yeah,
oh,
so
there is one other thing I wanted to talk about.
oh,
Um so and we sort of touched on it earlier.
uh,
Let me get rid of that. Um the attack ads on
mm,
um well, for me it's YouTube. You know, I'm getting and there's been a bunch against the referendum, a bunch of like oh, um a bunch propagating the lie that if you vote Democrat, they'll take your money and give it to illegals.
okay, I haven't
And
seen
there's
that one.
so much wrong with the they'll take your money and give it to illegals. They'll raise your taxes and make you pay for illegals. There's just so much wrapped up in that statement alone. It's like, oh wow. Uh, but also
Oh,
there's this, and I don't think that one's AI.
no.
I think that those But there is one piece of AI slop that I've seen in the last few days. That is that's Abigail Spamberger setting a barn on fire and laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And it is both slop and obvious how evocative it could be.
That is one that I would be surprised if it doesn't get pulled for possible defamation.
It could. It could get pulled for not being labeled AI because I don't see it labeled AI anywhere.
True, good for that, but
Um,
that's also the
but
sheer way
well,
they're alleging that's a
it's not.
concrete fact.
No. It's obvious that it's obvious that it's a metaphorical.
Mm.
Um, and it's obvious. I mean, it's obviously fake. I don't know that it's obviously AI.
Yeah.
They're not saying she's setting a barn on fire literally.
Mm.
The argument could be made that no, this is obviously us just saying she's setting the barn on fire and we're gonna have to put it out.
But that's for the lawyers to have fun wrangling over.
Yeah, no. It's that it's not that I don't think it's labeled as AI.
True.
That's
Which
the part that's like,
there's a couple problematic things with that then.
yeah. I mean, there are a lot of problematic things with it. It's a very negative ad. And there may be a few people who do take it seriously. Most people won't go, oh my god, she set a barn on fire with herself in it.
That kind of ranks up there with the ads that I've been seeing, which are different.
Okay, what have
The
you been
ones that
seeing?
so Obama actually did an ad asking voters to vote yes on the referendum.
Yeah, I've been seeing that one.
Okay, have you seen the companion one that the Republicans have put out that says that Obama would be disappointed if you voted yes?
No.
That, Obama said that gerrymandering is wrong and you shouldn't vote for this? That is literally what the Republican ad says. So that's the more polite one. The definitely hurtful one is specifically saying that if you vote yes, you'll remove the only two African American voting districts. To which my question is, are we plucking them off the map and flinging them in the ocean? Because if you're redistricting, they're still there.
Yeah.
And they're
heard
using
that argument. I find
Have you
it spurious.
Yeah.
There is something about. Okay, so, I mean, those two districts are African American districts because they were gerrymandered that way. Because they were racially gerrymandered so that all of the black people, not all, but the majority of black people are in the same two districts.
Right.
Thusly actually reducing their voting power.
And the
Dude, there
map that
should
they've used.
actually be like 4 or 5 African American districts, if not
If
more.
done correctly.
Right.
The kicker on that is in some of the ads that are saying that the map that they're using is colored in red and blue, and it's showing how the only two districts are blue. What kind of a message is that giving without meaning to?
There is that too. And yes, it is meaning to.
No, no, because this is done by the Republicans.
No,
The
it's
Republicans are trying to say, "Oh, if you do this, you'll lose your vote." You mean the blue spot will get bigger where my vote is?
uh
I mean, they're meaning to show it, but they're yeah.
what they're trying to say is we outnumber you anyway.
Well, but it's also it's meant to appeal to African American voters so they can keep their special district. And that's what their intent is.
I mean, yeah.
That's the main intent. Yeah, everyone else is going to hear that ad, but specifically it is focused to try to convince you this is your special district. And if you vote yes, you're going to lose your special district and your vote's going to be dissipated. But the map they're using is showing if they had chosen different colors, they might have a more effective ad for the group they're targeting specifically. They've got something effective for everybody else.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen this one. The other one that I see, the map ad that I see, is talking about how unfairly unbalanced the voting map will be in general. Like, Democrats are gonna just now outnumber Republicans, and it's just gonna be, if you vote yes, then all of a sudden they're just gonna have all of the power. You know, they're gonna have 10 districts to our 2 districts, and and they're gonna take all of your money and give it to illegals.
I have not heard that one.
Wow. We turned back to that real quick. But no, that's been like the tagline on a bunch of these. Sort of the back end of the commercial. Some of them I've watched longer than needed just to sort of understand them. But a bunch of them have been this, like, because there are 2 types of ads on YouTube. There are ads that become skippable after a certain amount of time, after the little bar gets all the way there. And then there are ads that are unskippable, and you just kind of have to wait for it to get to the end. And a bunch of them have been unskippable.
Yeah.
Which has been irritating. So through all of this, let's remind people what the referendum is actually about. It's a redistricting referendum. It's temporary.
Yep.
And in the language of the bill, it is specifically temporarily enacted to combat
presidential order gerrymandering of other states.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to get the wording wrong there. So
I mean,
it's very narrow and case specific.
Yeah. And it's limited.
It's limited.
It's limited till 20 for like only the next 4 years. is this going to be in
2030.
effect? They specifically put a date on when this stops, and that
Right.
it doesn't go
2030.
beyond.
Ends in 2030 when we do the next census.
Right.
So it is. I like that. You know, this is a
Mm-hmm.
very I the parts of it that made me uncomfortable, the parts
Mm-hmm.
of the idea that makes me uncomfortable
Mm.
are mitigated by the language used, the narrowness of the use case precedent being set.
Mm-hmm.
That mitigates my uncomfortableness about it. Not completely. I mean, it is still, but it's not supposed to be comfortable to do something that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that undermines the set of. Well, I was gonna say constitutionally enshrined, but it's not.
No.
Unless it's Virginia state constitution.
Not currently.
No.
Although,
So
speaking about
this is just a
constitutionally enshrined
convention.
things,
Yes.
did you see about the Popular Vote Pact?
The what? What? Who? What? Popular Vote Pact.
It is an agreement that states are starting to get in together that only goes into effect if enough states have joined that the majority of the electoral votes would be part of this. In which basically they let the popular vote for president actually count instead of going by the electoral votes.
The Electoral College.
Yep.
Okay.
And as of Virginia entering the pact this week, they only need 44 more electoral seats added.
Okay. That's a pretty thin margin at this point. 44
Yeah.
44 electoral. What's the what? Oh god, what's the magic number?
I think they've got like 230 right now, so they only need 44 more. I don't know what the exact number they have is or what they need. I just know specifically they need 44 more seats.
270 274.
It's 274, 275, something like that.
I think yeah. I think it's 275.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's 275 because I think it needs to be. It's over a majority. I can't remember now. I can't remember what the total is, but it's.
Mm-hmm.
But 44 away would be enough to enough in a presidential election to start calling it.
Yeah.
However, we have seen presidential elections on slimmer margins
We have.
recently.
Yeah. And so there are people arguing for this, there are people arguing against it. The main argument that I've heard against it seems to be, well, the founders didn't want an all or nothing thing where, whoever was the most popular got the vote. And it's like, Wasn't this set up as a way for the popular vote of all of the current citizens to be counted for? Because they had to travel for days sometimes to get things around because this is all being done by horseback?
That was part of it.
It's like this
Part of it
is
was also so that some votes counted more than others.
which again is not something that we need now, is it?
Right. And part of it was because the founding fathers didn't trust everybody who had a vote. Part of it
Which I do
was,
understand.
well, I do too, but that's
Again,
not
we don't need that
democracy.
now. No, like I said, we don't need that now.
Right. Popular vote has I think just about every time actually not chosen the one that we didn't actually want. Like, we didn't actually want George Bush.
Mm-hmm.
We did not want Trump the first time. And I'm pretty sure he lost the popular vote the second time, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it really is, it has failed us. Now, I mean, it's not always like that. I do believe Obama at one point lost the popular vote. Although I may not be correct about that.
Let's see.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the popular vote. We just need to allow everyone's voice to matter equally.
Yes.
For a proper popular democracy, we need to do that. And while we are oh god, what is it? What's the Republic.
Yeah, the first time around, you're right. You got right with you're right with Bush. You're right with the first Trump election.
Yeah.
Apparently, he did win the popular vote for the second one.
Stop the count. Stop the steal.
Yeah.
In any case, we are a representative democracy in some senses, but we have the ability to be a popular democracy in the sense of voting.
Yeah.
And now that we have that ability, I think we need to adopt it.
You've got more voters. This is not 1776. Population has grown from what it was at the time.
Yeah.
Communication methods have grown from what they were at the time. Education has changed from what it was at the time.
Education is mandated now, at least at a basic level, although there are massive problems in the educational system.
True. Very true. But at least I'm not going to get in trouble for teaching you how to read. You're not going to get in trouble
It
for
depends on what you teach me how to read.
you're not going to get in trouble for teaching a girl how to do math.
I don't know, man. Math is woke. Didn't you know?
Yes. So you might get in trouble for a whole bunch of other things, but basic arithmetic
Right. No,
and
you are
stuff like
correct.
that.
You are correct. It is, the basic elements of education are there, and they are mandated to be there.
For everyone. Not
For
just
everyone. Right. And and it's mandated that they're provided for everyone for free.
there are problems with the way it happens.
There are huge problems with the way it happens, but the fact that it does happen, that it's, that education, that was the wrong hand to do that with.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Gosh, we're supposed to be close to done. I shouldn't be starting another one.
I know.
Education, the fact that we are supposed to have the educational system that we don't actually have, is great. But the educational system that we do have is unfortunate. But the fact that we are supposed to have that means that we should also be including everyone's voice in the elections, because everyone should be educated enough to take part.
Yes.
Although, I agree with Deadpan Dog there, I don't think that your right to vote has anything to do with your education level or even your intelligence.
No.
I think that everyone's existence is valid. Therefore, their right to vote is valid. Everyone who is here is living under the decisions that are being made by the elected officials. So everyone has the right to put in their 2 cents. No matter how educated, intelligent,
Oh.
no matter what I'm already being insensitive as I say this, so I'm gonna stop it there. But no matter what, your right to take part in the democracy that affects your life should be based on the fact that it affects your life.
Before I forget, I have a thinky question to leave you with today.
All right, leave me thinking.
Someone brought this up. Someone brought up that the voting age is 18, correct?
Correct.
So wouldn't taxing teenagers that are working fast food jobs or whatever, taking tax out of their wages before they are eligible to vote, be taxation without representation, because they cannot have a voice in what they're doing?
Yes. My short answer is yes, and this is how I felt at the time. It was taxation without representation. However, the state in our case, but in general, the government
Yeah.
sees your representation as being your parents. And they're voting.
Mm-hmm.
And you are, as a teenager, while you do pay taxes, I do believe that you're supposed to actually not. You are actually technically tax exempt until you're 18. So while they withhold taxes from your paycheck, they give you all that money back. At tax time when you get your tax return.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a bag out there. So while yes, you are being taxed, you're you're paying you're all you're doing is giving the government a
A loan
a
throughout the year
loan,
that they have to give you back at the end.
right?
Yeah.
Interest free loan.
Yeah.
All you're doing is giving the government an interest free loan. You're not actually being taxed. And I think that's part of how they get away with it. It's between
Fair
those two
enough.
things.
It was a conversation that I was reading between someone else, and it's like that's a good thinky question to give Trevor.
It is a thinky question. It's a question I've asked before. And I have asked, yeah. It's a question I've asked before, and so that's why I had the answers so ready to go.
Nope, that's fine.
I do think it is good for teenagers to pay taxes. I
I
don't
think
think
it's
it's
better for them to learn how to do their taxes.
right. I think it's important for them to go through the learning to be part of that system, or learning how to opt out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Then than it is for them to actually pay into the system yet.
Yeah.
I think it's important for them to, and that's why I think it's important for them to get all of their withholdings back. You know,
Yeah.
they should have that tax exempt status.
Mm-hmm.
And then get it all back at the end of the year, or at the end of the tax year, and yeah. But it is taxation without representation.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that you really shouldn't have to hold a job until you're old enough to be represented, old enough to make decisions. If they are claimed as dependents and pay taxes, it's included in the return. There you go. There you go. So, yeah. So yeah, that's the I really do feel like a lot of responsibility is put on kids that shouldn't be put there. That they're not developed enough to, you know, childhood should last longer. We need to let them cook more.
As I said earlier, this is not 1776.
No.
It's 2026. We do not need kids to go work to provide for themselves so they can go get married and have as many of their own kids as possible to keep the farm running.
Right. So, yeah, that's... I also have more... I see... I don't want to put undue responsibility on the kids, but I see them being more and more adaptable and evolved. You know? But it's not on the kids to fix the mess the adults made. At some point, some generation's gonna have to, fix it, but it should be this one. It should be the current generations that are of an age and energy level to do it. I don't feel a lot of hope coming from Gen X about it. I don't know that millennials are doing much better. It really is the Zoomers that are the alpha that are picking up the slack. It's the generation of the adults, the young adults, the up to the 30s, and the generation, the younger part of the generation after that. You know. But yeah, up to the mid 30s basically seem to be stepping up at least a little. And you have individuals who buck against that and make you go, "Oh my god. We're all cooked. But no. Most of I really do think that I wish the older generations would pull their heads out their rears and get it together. Start seeing that we need to be inclusive. We need to build a community that includes all of us and serves all of us. We can't be marginalizing any group, and we can't be consuming the planet for profits. I'm so far left that I say profit motive is just bad in general. I'm so far, I really think that any sort of profit motive is awful. We should be motivated by trying to further progress our species. You know, not by profiting, but there are those who believe that a little bit of profit motivation is not a bad thing. And you know, but we heard my rant about centrism last week.
Fair. It's a reoccurring theme on the show.
A lot of these themes are. Where was I going with all of this?
I don't know. We were getting ready to wrap up and go do our other things.
Yep. Well, anyway, I'll leave you that on that ellipsis. That thought was supposed to go somewhere. It was getting there, man. It was getting really close, and then it just stopped.
Given everything we covered today, do we need to make guesses for tomorrow's show, or is tomorrow's show supposed to be a clip show?
I have no idea, and I have no idea.
Okay, cool.
I have obviously been off my game this week. I don't know. Oh, I did. I will say I had a pretty okay DJ set yesterday, given that I did it in a wrist brace and with my wrist wrapped. I did pretty good. It wasn't
good.
You know, I ain't no pro or nothing like that, but I'm learning.
Fair enough.
I'll get there someday, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just keep doing it for fun in my bedroom in front, for Twitch.
You really need to think about the way you say things sometimes. Because that's going to get clipped.
I tell you, man, it is, yeah. I mean, I'd say that that's not how I do it, but that's how I do.
This is where we say goodbye before either one of us says something else that should not be clipped.
Right. Well, all right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Darth Dragonis. Was there anyone else in chat?
Nope.
Thank
It's
you.
just us today.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, all you lurkers. Much love. And now is the time on the show when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. I'm out, y'all. We're out, y'all. Yesterday, all just sorrows, just one memory. Would you trade all the time that you have left to live in the past? Is all that you have left your regrets? Just a handful of happy memories, but they are where you can live with nothing else left to you. You retreat into the stories and the memories. The stories and the memories are all you have left. Would you trade all of your tomorrows for just one yesterday? All of your sorrows for just one memory? Do you want back the time you had with all those friends who are gone? Is there anything left for you now that you're alone? Would you trade all of your tomorrow?